Dubai Multi-Commodities Centre has partnered with Dubai FDI to promote UAE-China trade ties as part of Dubai Investment Week. Trade between the UAE and China is expected to reach 257 billion dirhams by the year 2020. Senior figures from government, trade, investment and technology met today in Dubai at a forum under the theme Advancing the Dubai-China Relationship Through Trade. Nasdaq Dubai has welcomed the listing of a $500 million Sukuk and a $500 million conventional bond issued by DP World. The port operator is the largest UAE debt issuer by value on the region's international exchange, with Sukuk and conventional bond listings now totaling over $9 billion. DP World's latest Sukuk listing brings the total Sukuk listing in Dubai by value to $58.7 billion US. UAE firms are increasingly using new technology, including artificial intelligence, cloud computing, machine learning and automation. KPMG's latest CEO Outlook report shows that technological disruption is a priority for nearly 70% of chief executives. Timothy Wood is partner and head of cybersecurity at KPMG Lower Gulf. He's with us here in the studio this evening. Tim, great to have you with us. So what were the main findings of the latest report?
So there were three key findings that came out from the report. The first one is that UAE CEOs are more optimistic about the market, the global market, as well as the opportunity within the local market. So that's the first one. The second key finding was from a technology perspective. CEOs are investing heavily in advanced technologies. So, for example, 75% of CEOs have actually piloted artificial intelligence across their organisation this year. And clearly the use of artificial intelligence is just going to grow. And then finally, from a cybersecurity perspective, CEOs are increasingly confident that their teams can respond effectively to a cyber attack. So those were the key findings from the study.
So how are companies then going to use technology to actually move ahead of competition?
So UAE CEOs are doing a huge amount. So as we're saying, where they're using robotic process automation, artificial intelligence, data analytics, cloud computing, and they're really disrupting existing business models. So they're looking at ways to use this technology in new and innovative ways to really drive different business models and different growth opportunities. So, for example, if you look at cloud computing, this year there's going to be a huge emphasis on cloud computing. 70% of CEOs have suggested that they're extremely confident about moving to the cloud this year, which is significantly more than last year.
Now, one of the main features of the report I saw as well was to do with climate change. This is obviously affecting businesses globally, but how's it going to be tackled, particularly here in this region?
So, the CEO survey has indicated that everybody understands, all of the CEOs understand that climate change is possibly one of the biggest challenges that we face globally. And 50% of CEOs in the UAE have suggested that transitioning from where they are today, which is based significantly on fossil fuels, to a low carbon, economically, environmentally friendly model of business is going to be key to their growth. So over 50% of CEOs are taking this seriously and are doing something about that today.
Now, in the report also mentions CEOs wanting to make sure that their leadership teams are briefed properly and are having an effect in the business world. So how are they going to do that?
So actually it all starts from the top. So even CEOs themselves are transforming. The average tenure of CEOs now is 5 years, which is the shortest we've seen for some time. And what these CEOs are coming in to do is to transform their businesses. They will bring in new teams, perhaps under a chief digital officer, chief information officer, chief disruption officer. And what they will do is they will have a team of innovators who will look to identify new business models, use this emerging technology to drive change across their business. So it's very exciting times.
Great. So for you, were there any other particular findings of the report you'd like to highlight?
I think for me, the key thing is really around the optimism. So I think this drive in uptake in technology, the potential growth opportunities in the local market that have been created through a whole host of local initiatives, I think that's the key finding for me. Yeah.
Tim Wood, thanks a lot. We'll leave it there. Abu Dhabi's hospitality sector performed well in the first half of 2019, with revenues increasing to around 3 billion dirhams. That's a growth of more than 11% from the same period last year. The growth is driven by a considerable increase in tourist and guest arrivals on the back of a busy lineup of international business events and edutainment activities as well. Let's have a look now at the UAE stock markets, along with today's gainers and losers. That is your business tonight, keeping you up to date. Now, back to Eunice.